Welcome back, everyone, to the weekly Armchair Sports Talk. This is our Three Devils and a Gooner segment. We only have two Devils and a Gooner this time, but we're gonna go with it. We're rolling with it. We're going to be talking, obviously, Premier League's back. Our respective clubs, United and Arsenal, had big weekends at the weekend. Talking about incoming transfers that could still happen, where we realistically think that our clubs are going to finish this season, and much more. I'm joined tonight by Ames, to my left, right, and Jen at the bottom. Ladies, how are we both doing tonight?
Yeah, good, not too bad. A bit tired from the weekend, but other than that, good.
Same.
I'm grand.
Same.
It's Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday, but hey.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Day.
That does sound awful. I feel like this week is going to be a very long week because I'm so tired, but we're going to roll with it. We're going to move on to United first. We obviously had a very good weekend, Ames. You were over in Manchester with me for the game. We got very merry, very, very drunk, but it was a very good day, and obviously topped off with an amazing win as well. Bruno hat-trick, Mason was amazing, and even Fred scored. I feel like we're living in some sort of parallel universe, and apparently he scored today as well behind closed doors. So he's 2-2 now. He's coming. James, what did you make of the game? Talk me through like the atmosphere and everything, like how good it was to be back.
Oh my God, like I expected the atmosphere to be good because it was first game back with a full stadium, but my God, it was actually unbelievable. I think announcing Varane before the game started really, really gave the players a good kick because they could hear the atmosphere outside, and you could tell that they were absolutely buzzing for it. But like even throughout the first half, obviously we clearly dominated the game. Leeds did have their chances, bear in mind, they did have their chances. They could have scored more than what they did, but United just took their chances more so than Leeds did, and we just dominated the game. And obviously, like, McTominay had a great game, which made our forwards play that bit better. Didn't need to keep tracking back, looking for the ball or anything like that. Like, McTominay had probably one of his best games. Like, obviously he played really well in the Europa League final as well, but he had an absolute blinder. Pogba 4 assists, Bruno hat-trick. Like, you couldn't want anything more from your first game of the season and first game back with a full stadium. Like, it was absolutely unbelievable. Obviously when Leeds scored their second goal, it gave the lads a bit of a kick, to be honest. And then when Greenwood scored, I knew the second Greenwood scored that goal, I knew something clicked, and they just completely dominated, and it was just like goal after goal after goal. Even Fred scored. Like, when Fred scores. But no, absolutely unbelievable overall atmosphere, everything, and can't forget Jadon Sancho getting his Manchester United debut as well, which was fantastic.
About time and all. Should have been a year ago, but we move. I would just want to echo anything that you've said, because the atmosphere was, I mean, I go every week and I actually haven't heard the atmosphere like that in a while. The place was absolutely bouncing, and I completely agree. Announcing Varane at the start was a massive. Apparently, I've heard some rumours today that Ollie kind of was pushing for that, to say, look, I want to announce him before, just to give everyone that lift that we needed. And I thought it was a great chance. I know that some people were a bit annoyed that he didn't kind of, sign his paperwork before that, so he could have actually potentially played that game or played some part in that game. But I have no qualms with our defence, midfield, anything, because they all played absolutely outstanding. And their goal, I mean, maybe he could have been closed down a bit earlier, but it was a wonder goal. So there's you just have to look at it and you'd be like, all right, no problem. It was an absolute screamer. So there's nothing you can really do about it.
I think basically with the Varane announcement, I think they've seen Grealish's announcement as like, hey, we're going to go one step further and we'll announce him in front of a full stadium.
Just the proper shithousery. I love it. I'm going to quickly go to the comments to see who we've got in tonight. We've got Paul Sancho. I see you've changed your name from Bruno. What's going on? Evening, Paul. Manchester is red. Manchester is very much red at this moment in time. Varane coming onto the pitch with a new shirt was absolutely class. It actually was. Rory, good to see you in. We've got Keen in. We've got Jake. Evening. Evening. How we all doing? Katie, I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you around in a while, so I think we're going to have to hook up soon and get you on here because we were supposed to hook up on the other channel. So, yeah, we'll get you on here. Bruno Fernandes on Saturday. Beautiful. He absolutely was.
I cried. There was actually tears run down my face when he scored the third goal. Not even joking.
And his first hat-trick as well for United. Yeah. I mean, he played an absolute blinder. So, and they were all amazing penalties. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing penalties. Never seen penalties like them before.
Okay, I'll be keeping a list, lads. I'll be keeping a list for you.
Well, your list is empty at the moment, right?
Well, no, it's 3 from open play. No, it's the penalties.
Oh, God. Yes, and Rory says, my brother are Leeds fans. Oh, God, disown them. I'll be disowning them straight away. Jen, what happened, babe? What
happened?
What happened? I mean, do you think it was the occasion of... I'm not taking anything away from Brentford because they obviously played... To be fair, I was 3 sheets to the wind at that point, so I didn't really know this. But they played relatively well, and I'm not taking anything away from Brentford at all because they absolutely smashed it. But do you think that maybe it was the occasion that they rose above it and just Arsenal just couldn't rise to the occasion because obviously it was their first game in the Premier League with fans and their new stadium? And do you think it was just a case of big occasion?
Well, I'm hoping so, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think personally, when I was watching it, I was absolutely gutted by the way we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't help. We didn't have a striker. We had Martinelli and Balogun, and the fan base has been crying out for those two to play. I wasn't one of those, and you know that all last season I was like, no, too young, not experienced enough.
Mm-hmm.
The illness to Laka and Aubameyang, God knows, right? I'm hoping it is that they're sick and not that they're refusing to play like some rumours are saying. We were outdone by the physicality of Brentford, completely outdone. The second goal should not have stood. I know we still would have lost 1-0, but the second goal, they were holding Leno down. Now, Leno should be man enough to pull his arm away. Do you know what I mean? If that was me, I'd be like, get off me, you shit. We were trying to play pretty football. We were trying to play our football. And even right from the beginning, I was saying to my son, look, they're not controlling the ball. The ball is bouncing. I was like, is it a new type of ball we've got this season again? Is it lighter again? Do you know? It was like, what is going on? The ball was bouncing in front of them. They couldn't control it. The passes were going long or they were going short. I was really, really disappointed with the way they played, that they couldn't even kind of change their tactics to meet Brentford in the second half. Do you know? And then to be done by a throw-in, I'm just like, oh, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that I was impressed with, two, Tierney, of course, my lovely Tierney, and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe played a blinder, but he had nobody else. When Saka came on, Saka played well. But before that, you know, he might as well have had just 2 players on the park. You know, Balogun and Martinelli didn't know what each other were doing. You could tell they'd never really played together before.
Yeah.
I just think it was a shit show. Sorry for my language now, but it was just,
all right,
from our point of view, absolutely awful. And please God, I mean, right from the beginning, I knew when I heard we had Brentford, first game of the season, I was like, this can go one or two ways. We can be all in our heads and go, yeah, we're better than Brentford. They've had to come through the playoffs and get nowhere like we did. Or we could take them as serious team. And they showed, and they've shown to everybody now in the Premiership, and that they might go on and not win another game. But they've shown to everybody that they're to be taken seriously. and it's a warning to whoever plays them next. Do you know, I just think they're a good team. I liked them in the Championship. I watched them last season. I actually follow them on Twitter because I actually like them that much. But I was just so disappointed. And I will say I was really, really disappointed with Jamie Carragher. Celebrating with the Brentford fans. He's meant to be a neutral. He's working for Sky Sports. It was disgusting. And it was the same when he spat at that 6-year-old kid. Nothing gets done. Do you know what I mean? The Man United supporter spat at her. Nothing gets done to him. It was all cool. No, he's above it all. Sky Sports are really annoying me at the minute. So I much prefer listening to people, normal people like us, talking about things. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken nothing away from Brentford because, like you said, they're a strong team, and I think they could do really, really well this season. Like we did predictions at the start, and I didn't pick them to go down because I don't think they will. I don't think they'll go straight back down. Ivan Toney, he's a good talent, and I think that he will put up a few numbers this season.
I think every season though, when the teams are promoted, there's always one that are dark horses, like Sheffield United
last year, isn't it?
I think Brentford are going to be that this season, to be honest, because every season there is at least one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I hope they do because they're a good team. They're a good run football club. Their story is great. Their journey is fabulous. So, you know, I never like to say that I hope other teams do well, but I hope they do well until they play us. Basically, that's just the short and sweet of it. Victoria's Secret is in the house, and he says, I think if Arsenal sign Odegaard, they have an outside chance of getting Europa League football. Can't see them getting Champions League football anytime soon. We'll come on to transfers and who we actually want to, you know, come in and stay at the club in a bit. But I think it's a good point about Odegaard. Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Brentford, but potentially it might have been the occasion. The fans were completely behind them because I think we saw most teams that played at home this weekend did win. And obviously you only have to look at Tottenham and City. City were obviously the outright favourites for that. But Tottenham won because I'm not saying it's because they were at home, because they played. City were awful in that game, I thought. Yes, City were awful in that game, I thought. And Tottenham did play better. But, you know, maybe, you know, give it a few weeks and see how this home advantage really is an advantage, and see, you know, how the lower teams perform, you know, away from home. Ames, United's transfers. Obviously, we've had Varane and Sancho come in now. Who do we still want and who do we still need?
So I think the most obvious one is a defensive midfielder.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, with the fact that we have signed Varane now, I don't think we need to spend big money on a defensive midfielder. I think we just need someone that can just do a job in there. Now I know we've been linked with Saul, and I think, to be honest, he's not an out-and-out defensive midfielder, but I reckon he will be able to do a job in there. I think, like, even against Leeds on Saturday, like, we did have a lot of the ball, and McTominay and Fred did cope. Now Fred did give ball away a couple of times, but in terms of games like that where we do have a lot of the ball, you could play Matic or McTominay, no problem. But in terms of playing the likes of City, Liverpool, Leicester, any team that are going to have a lot of the ball, we're going to need a defensive midfielder in there that can do a job. So yeah, like, I'm not too pushed on who we get, to be honest, as long as they can do a job. Don't need to spend 100 million on a Declan Rice, being completely honest with you. So yeah, they don't need to spend big money. And in terms then, maybe a right back, because I feel like Wan-Bissaka, he played a lot of football last season and he has no backup. So I think, I know we've been linked with Kieran Trippier, which would be a fantastic signing. Would also be great for Wan-Bissaka because Wan-Bissaka is quite young as well. So Wan-Bissaka could actually learn a lot off him. Now I think Wan-Bissaka, I think if Kieran Trippier was to come in, I know there was talks again in the last couple of days that it could happen within the last couple of days, the transfer window. But I reckon what Ollie will do, he'll probably rotate Wan-Bissaka and Kieran Trippier Wan-Bissaka will probably play more against teams like City and Liverpool, and any team that are going to have a lot of the ball. Because we all know 1-on-1 defensively, he's unbeatable. Like he's absolutely fantastic. But in terms of us having a lot of the ball, Kieran Trippier is going to be flying up and down the wings. Like he's going to be fantastic, and cross the ball as well, which is Wan-Bissaka does lack in that attacking aspect. So yeah, I think definitely defensive midfielder is number one. But in terms of a backup, a right back for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with the CDM situation as well. Paul even says it there, take Ruben Neves for 35 million. It's also a good shout. Victoria's Secrets also says, I still think we'll struggle against the top teams with McFred. I do agree.
Yeah.
Although they had a very good game against Leeds, who, in fairness, Leeds like to press. But they play very open. So I would worry about the two of them in the midfield.
I do think, though, with the introduction of Eric Ramsey, I think McTominay can develop under him properly. Now, McTominay's still only 24, so he still has a good few years left in him, and he'll hit his prime around 27, 28. So I think with the introduction of Eric Ramsey, he could develop a lot of him. So yeah, he's a good box-to-box player. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
Even the first 20, 25 minutes of the game against Leeds, he was going forward a lot, and he's really good at it. Like, there's no denying that. Like, but in terms of defensive midfielder, like right now, we do need one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I was all on the Rice train a few weeks ago, but I don't think we need to. I think the £100 million is absolutely extortionate. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, and I would be happy to have him, but £100 million it's setting him up to fail in a way, because I mean, you look at Harry Maguire coming in for 80 million. I know the player doesn't obviously dictate the price tag that they come in for, and the price tag can sort of overshadow the player at some point, but £100 million for, I think it's way too much for someone. I mean, he is a good player, but he's still got learning to do. And if you're bringing him in for 100 million, I know Grealish went for 100 million, which, Jesus, that's extortionate as well, in my opinion. But I think it's just setting them up to fail. So I would rather go with, like a Neves or, Camavinga, 35 to 40 million, maybe 50 max. But I don't think we need to go and splash £100 million on Declan Rice.
I think with defensive midfield, like as we were saying, I don't think we do need to splash out massively. But if we don't, like if we do get, say, a Neves for 34 million, it'll save us a lot of money as well, and we can actually properly go for Haaland next summer.
That would be good. That's making my mouth water.
Hey, Chelsea got Lukaku this summer, so there is a chance we could be going for Haaland next summer. So,
I mean, yeah, that is true. He's pretty much, open run, kind of. All the big Premier League teams, especially if City get Kane, they won't be going for him. So you never know. Jen, talk me through Arsenal. Who's going in, who's going out? Is James Maddison still coming, or is he not?
There's talk of James Maddison and there's talk of Odegaard. They play the same position, basically. I would like to get them both. Not being greedy, but it'd be good to have them both, and then you could have Smith Rowe out on the left, and that's what we need, is an attacking midfielder, definitely. Personally, I prefer Odegaard to Maddison, but that's just because I know what he brings to our club. He's played with our club since Christmas last year, and he really did make it better with Smith Rowe and himself. They just worked really well. Whereas I know Maddison is a good player. I know he's injury prone as well. He's coming from Leicester. He's not the toughest player in the book, and you're not sure how he's gonna join up with our players. Like, whereas Odegaard, we already know. We know that he fits in well. But apparently Maddison is the number one target, and if we don't get him, then it's Odegaard. It'll be easier to get Odegaard because Real Madrid said they don't want him already. So for me, Odegaard would have been is the right player to go for. But look, we have to sit back, wait and see. We need a right back. There's been absolutely no talk of right back. We've still got Bellerin. We thought we had a deal with him going to Inter, and that fell through because Inter wanted a loan deal with an option to buy or something like that anyway, and Arsenal just wanted to sell him, needed to get rid of him really. So he was out training again today, and I don't know. For me though, personally, and I've been saying this all last season and I'll start saying it again this season, we need a striker. And we've been linked with Martinez from Inter, which we thought maybe might go ahead, because if Bellerin was going there, we could maybe do a swap deal with money. But it seems to have gone quiet. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin was put out there somewhere. I think it was probably clickbait. I didn't bother going into it. It'd be grand, but do you know, it's just so difficult because nobody seems to be doing anything, because the European clubs are so stuck for money, and especially then the two Spanish clubs that would normally, you know, you'd go, oh yeah, they'll buy. And then even if they bought from Italy, then their teams would need to get somebody, you know, so the roundabout isn't there at the minute.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a disaster, I think. You know, we've got a good few players that need to be gone and they're not moving. I mean, I don't know if I can even say this on this. Xhaka was going to Roma. I was like, yeah, delighted. He wants to go to Roma. They want him. They weren't willing to pay the money. Like, they were offering 20 million. So basically, they wanted him for nothing. After he had such a really good Euros, he's now back at the club and he's captain.
Didn't he sign a new contract?
Yeah, a new contract, and he's now captain. I don't get it. I really don't understand that. Now, there must be something about him, because every single manager that he's played under has made him captain. So there must be something that they see behind the scenes, but there's not when it comes to, well, the likes of me as a supporter. Yeah, I like the way he plays, but no way would I, if he was saying, oh, I'm off, I can't wait to go to Roma, I'm looking forward to playing under, oh God, I forgot his name. I'm so bad. Jose, I'm so looking forward to playing under Jose. Yeah. And then it's like the deal falls through and you make him captain. How does that make sense? I understand not giving it to Aubameyang again this season, because last season he was ill, he weren't well and all of that. Take all the stress off him. But give it to somebody like Tierney, you know. And I know I love Tierney, but give it to somebody like Tierney who has the potential to be shouting at people and getting them moving and doing. So anyway, that's me little rant.
No, carry on. I want to speak to you about Aubameyang, actually. I know we spoke before about whether you think he should, you know, be moved on, or I know there was links to him going to Barcelona, but I think Fabrizio came out and said that wasn't categorically not true. Yeah. Where do you stand on him? Do you think maybe you should give him one more season, see how he gets on, or do you think?
I was going to say, can I stand on him? Give him a kick and tell him to get a move on. Yeah, last season was just horrible for him. It was absolutely horrible for him. And I think he's the type of player that needs the fans behind him. He needs to be on that pitch and hear the fans yelling his name, giving him support, giving him the love. And I think he really did miss that last season. So hopefully I would give him another season. I don't think if you were trying to sell him on at this moment in time, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on looking for the money you'd want for him. Like, you wouldn't even get 30 million for him, do you know? So he's worth more to Arsenal if he can give us the 20 plus goals that he gave us every other season that we've had him. Do you know? And we need a striker. We haven't a striker. Our two young lads are not able for it at the minute. They need somebody there to play off and learn from. And so we need him.
Yeah.
Do you know, definitely. Unless we get somebody that's fantastic, unless we get Harry Kane or Haaland, or do you know what I mean? You need somebody amazing to come in to let go of him.
Yeah,
that's,
of course. Yeah. Keane says there, would you take Jimenez from Wolves?
I'll take everyone.
I'll take anyone.
Just give them to me. Maybe. I like.
Messi wouldn't do it. Says, I think Iheanacho would be a good signing for Arsenal.
I like Iheanacho, but then I let my feelings for players and the way they play at other teams get in the way, and I can't see sometimes can they play for us the way we play. I prefer Iheanacho to Calvert-Lewin. Sorry. Yeah. I just. Yeah, I know. There's something about Calvert-Lewin that I just think you can't rely on him. Like Richarlison, I think is much better than Calvert-Lewin for Everton. Do you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think Victoria's first out of Arsenal would be Arteta.
I don't think it should be. I actually like Arteta, and I think he's going through the struggles that Emery was going through now. But if he goes, and it's his team nearly now, he's nearly getting it to where he wants it. So I just think give him till Christmas at least. You know, see how we get on. The first game was just a disaster. We've got Chelsea and then we got City. Like, we're not really expecting.
Do you think he'll even survive them?
He'll have to, because none of us are expecting him to win any of them, either game. So, you know, he'll have till after the international break, because then it's international break, isn't it? And then we'll see what happens after that. So I think he'll get up until the end of November, December. Yes, I agree.
I think we all echo that with our owners, but 100%, I completely agree. Moving on to our next topic, which is realistic predictions for United and Arsenal this season. So, look, we're very positive on this platform. Like, this is a very positive channel. So, don't be surprised if you hear, champions 21 has come in over the course of the next kind of 9 months or so, especially from my mouth. Like, it's going to happen at some point. So Ames, where do you think United will finish this season, and how many trophies do you think we will get?
One's coming.
That's why she's my girl. Exactly why.
No, look, I think the title race is going to be very, very tight this season. I think every team is developing. So City, obviously, they got Grealish in. Chelsea, Lukaku. Like, Chelsea are building, and they're building strong. So I think it is going to be fairly tight. Now, in terms of our attacking options, we have so much attacking options there that we're never going to be stuck, especially when Rashford is back from injury as well in October. Like, we are going to be so strong going forward. We've strengthened the back with Varane. So I think it's going to be a very, very tight race, to be honest with you. I think Liverpool are going to drop out, being completely honest. I actually think so. So I think top three probably will be United, City and Chelsea. But I think it'll all depend how Ollie deals with the last 10 games of the Premier League. They are the most crucial ones. But I think up until then, it's going to be fairly tight. I'm going to go. Okay, if Ollie, fuck it, 21's coming.
There we go.
No, but I reckon he will win maybe an FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I think at least one trophy is coming, one of the cups, and hopefully 21's coming as well. So yeah.
No, I think a trophy this season for Ollie especially is absolutely paramount, because I think if he doesn't win it, he will be gone, because there will be no excuse. You can't obviously go from more progression from second. You have to get first and a trophy.
And you know what? He's climbing the table every season. So he was third, second last season. He has to be first this season. We got to a final last season. We lost loads of semi-final the season before that, so he has to win another trophy. So hopefully it's 2.
You know what? Win them all. I don't care. I'm greedy.
Coming home.
Yeah, I don't actually care. Like, I'll state anything. Clip that up. I don't give a shit. Like, people just, you've got to have positivity in this world. Like, especially after a great opening game like that. We went through last season's opening game aims. I thought we were going to get relegated at one point. Genuinely. But no, coming off, I feel like there's a lot of positivity around the club at the minute. Things are happening. We're actually conducting ourselves in the transfer market, better than what we usually do. I have no doubt in saying that we will win something this year, whether it be the Mickey Mouse Cup, the FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, whatever. But I think that this year, I think that final loss you can see how much it hurt Ollie. Even looking at the pictures of him, it broke my heart because I love Ollie, and I think that would have really, really hurt him. So I'm just hoping that he can get his in-game management skills, up a little bit, because he does lack with, bringing on subs and actually being able to change the game. But his man management is absolutely outstanding. So I'm just hoping that he can, bring in the right coaches. Obviously, he's brought in, like I said before, Eric Ramsey, set piece coach. We scored, in pre-season, I think we scored 3 from set pieces. So
Harry Maguire scored 1 today from a set piece.
I think Martial got a touch on it, but we'll give it to Slabhead. But yeah, something's clearly working. So I have a lot of positivity that's saying I do want a title race. Like I just want to get to April, May time and still be, have that little bit of hope. I know I still had hope even when we were 11 points behind. I was like, no. If they lose the next game, we just keep momentum. And my partner Andy was just like, Rach, just give up. It's not happening. I was just like, no, it's still mathematically possible. So it's still happening.
I think with the squad that Ollie is building, to be honest with you, he has no excuse this season. He has to bring home at least a trophy.
Yeah,
I think if he doesn't, he's in trouble.
No, I completely agree.
Our squad is so strong now. You brought in Sancho, who is 21 years of age, who has the potential to be world class. You got a world class centre back. You've got Pogba, world class midfielder. You've Bruno Fernandes, a world class midfielder. He is absolutely no excuse. So he has to bring home something. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. Victoria's Secret says, I think we'll be second to Chelsea. We don't have a realistic chance of the title without strengthening midfield. Yeah, I think midfield is a massive issue, but we're going to have to cross that bridge when we come to it. If we have to go through another season or even half a season and get to January with McFred, then, we've just got to have to deal with it. Jen, what are you saying about Arsenal this season? Where are you going to finish, and are you going to win something?
The league? Yeah, we are.
You're gonna... Okay. I know I said positivity, Jen, but
You
can
know
think whatever the hell you want. You can think whatever the hell you want.
You know me now. I always say at the beginning of the season, we're going to win the league and the FA Cup. Always. At the beginning of every season, I say it. We haven't done it in a while, but realistically, I really feel I can't say because of the transfer window not being finished.
Yeah, of course.
The game we played on Friday and just the way things are at the minute, we could be fighting for top 4, we could be fighting for top 6, or we could be fighting relegation. That's really how it stands at the minute. Do you know? It's just, you really don't know with Arsenal at the minute. The white coats. Yeah.
I've got them on call, Trev. It's all
right. You just really can't tell at the minute. And until the window is closed, we can see what we've got. We can see if Laka and Aubameyang really were sick, or whether they're going, or whether they're actually going to put a shift in at the Arsenal.
Yeah,
we can't say. It's easy for you to say because you finished second last season and your first game was a blinder you know, so it's easy to go, oh yeah, we're going to win the league, we're brilliant, we're marvellous. For us, unfortunately, I can't say it. I've got to wait and just go. For me, always, we're going to win the league. In my head, I've got to be there. I've got to say, Arsenal can win the league, because we can. Anybody can win the league. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The possibility of it is quite slim, but, you know, don't tell anybody I said that.
I've got the receipts now, unfortunately. Yeah, you know, I admire positivity, and there's so much negativity around kind of both of our clubs at the minute. Even though, like you said, we had a great opening day, there's still people that moan about everything. So, you know, there's just so much negativity, like in the world and online and Twitter and everything, that, you know, what's wrong with being positive? Like, you might be wrong.
Delusional.
Like, well, the amount of times, Jen, that I've been called delusional on the goddamn app is second to none. But I said the same thing about the Euros when England were obviously in the Euros. I was having a great time. I was saying that it's coming home the whole way. And people kept calling me delusional, saying, well, we'll never win anything with Southgate. Why are you kind of setting yourself up to fail? And it's like, I would rather go through the whole competition believing and having the best time, because football is a roller coaster. You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. So I always thought that I would rather go through the season or go through the tournament believing that we're going to win something and that it's going to come home, than get to the final and we won and wishing that I was more into it. Do you get what I mean? So like, being negative and then winning something at the end doesn't have the same kind of gratification and satisfaction that it does when you're in it the whole way. Like, football is our lives. Like, we all absolutely love the beautiful game, and what's the harm in getting involved? Just go with it. Like, ride the wave.
Watching it, you're not going to support your team, like.
Exactly. I just don't understand it, but I know some people are different and some people can't see positives at the moment, and that's absolutely fine. But I like to see the positives in everyone. I like to see good in everyone. So, you know,
always look on the bright side of life, eh?
Exactly. And speaking of looking on the bright side of things, Ames, who is going to be our top scorer this season?
I think that's hard now, to be honest. With our striker situation, I reckon Greenwood and Cavani will be rotated.
Yes.
So being completely honest, I think it's going to be Bruno.
Nice.
He's just a machine, like, and there's no taking it.
He takes penalties as well.
It's going to be, without a doubt. And they're not all going to be penalties either. They're all going to be from open play.
Well, he's already the league's top goal scorer. So
yeah.
Obviously, people need to catch up now, you know.
Even Fred has a goal more than City this season. So
yeah, that is very, very true. I'm inclined to agree with you. I think because Rashford is obviously out, and it might take him a while to, you know, get back up to speed when he comes back in October. I think it could be Bruno, because obviously you've always got a good chance when you're the close penalty taker, of course, because whenever you get a penalty, obviously you're not guaranteed to score it. I'm not saying that, but you've got a very good chance of getting a goal that game. But I mean, even his numbers last season, like, he was insane. And I think by the way he started this season, I mean, he's not showing any sign of slowing down at all. So yeah, I will go with Bruno as well to be top goal scorer. Jen, who's going to be top goal scorer for you guys? I mean, I was looking at the stats last season, and was it Lacazette that was your top goal scorer last season? Yeah. That's mental.
I know.
It's insane.
He might not even be our player by the end of the window.
Exactly.
So I was laughing at this. I was thinking, when you're saying, yeah, we've got this player, that player, I'm thinking, yeah, no, he don't score. He don't score.
Sorry.
I'm going to say we haven't bought him yet. That's what I'm going to say.
I like that.
Yeah. When we buy our striker, that's who it's going to be.
I like that.
So.
I like that. Keen agrees with us, says Bruno Fernandes. There's a lot of shouts for Bruno in the it's my favourite. Thank you. Bruno, yeah, I think everyone agrees that it is going to be Bruno. Anyone in the comments think Arsenal have when you think a goal scorer, like a prolific goal scorer. I mean, I know you've obviously got Aubameyang, but I think you have to see how he, goes
how
to
he
the league this year. Yeah, how he if he's even going to be there. Trevor says top goal scorer at Arsenal will be the goalkeeper. Sorry, Jan.
I hope to God not. They can score more than him.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be delirious than negative. I just want to have fun. Exactly. And you have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. Fuck it. Fuck what other people think. Oh, thank you. Smashing it as host. I'm with Amy. She's just naturally gifted because she's Irish. Nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Keane says Greenwood could get it though.
I think Greenwood and Rashford could still pull mad numbers, being completely honest.
I mean, you've even got to think about Cavani as well, and with
we have so many goal scorers.
Thinking about it now, like absolutely mouth-watering.
Yeah,
that attack. It's
and adding Sancho into that mix now as well.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm not expecting Sancho to put up insane in his first season because he obviously needs to get used to the team and everything, but he's going to contribute in some way. So,
and you looked in as well. Pogba scores any goal. Pogba scores is an absolute worldly like,
and he assists them as well. I mean, 4 assists on Saturday. 4 assists.
So many goal scorers is actually ridiculous. We have no excuse. And just like Keane said there, Bald Martial as well. I think we're going to see completely different Martial this season too.
I mean,
and you got Fred.
And we've got Fred. So we've got Fred as well. I mean, we've got goal scorers here, there, and everywhere. And we've also
can score too.
You know what? We are absolutely stacked. I have no doubt about goal scoring at all. I think we just have to see how Varane, settles in. Obviously, it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart that he's taken the place of someone who I dearly care about. But it's what's best for the team. Unfortunately, Lindelof can still do a job. I believe his passing range is absolutely outstanding. He even got an assist on Saturday.
He was fantastic.
I nearly cried, genuinely. Yeah. Sitting in the stands, I was just like, oh my God, I didn't think I'd ever see one in person. But no, I think he still has a massive role to play as well, because we've been talking about the whole past 2 seasons, squad depth is everything. And if Varane or Maguire get an injury, obviously Eric Bailly's always injured, so we can't really rely on him. But I think Lindelof would be a great backup because he has the experience. He's just been named Swedish captain, and I think that's massively boosted his confidence as well, because you don't get to be your country's captain without being good, contrary to what people on Twitter may think.
I think as well with we do have Bailly as backup next season.
Saka is Switzerland captain.
Xhaka,
yeah.
I thought you said Saka. I was like,
Xhaka. Sorry, my accent. Sticking to that better.
I was just thinking there as well with Tunzebe gone out on loan to Villa. Mm-hmm. He's going to get some game time as well, so I think he could be a good backup for next season as well.
Yeah.
Obviously when he comes back, and I think it'll be time for Eric Bailly to move on. Unfortunately, as much as I love the man, he's just made of Weetabix. He's just, he can't stay fit, so there's no point keeping him. So I don't know why he signed a new contract to begin with. Mm-hmm. But no, I think from next season it may be time for Bailly to move on, and Tunzebe will have game time in his back pocket. So hopefully that'll shift him on a bit as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm going to move on to our last topic. So if you could take a player from our representative club, so Jen, if you could take a player from United, who would you take?
Right, can I take 3?
Anyone? Sorry. No.
Right, so I've got a couple, right? I'm just going to tell you my reasoning. So right back, I'd have Wan-Bissaka, definitely. We need a right back badly.
Yeah, that's true.
We also need an attacking midfielder. So, like, your obvious one is Bruno if you need a goal scorer or whatever. But actually, you're going to both look at me. I much prefer Pogba to Bruno. I think Pogba is more essential to your team, even. I can see what he does for your team compared to when he's not in it. Do you know? So it's like
a lot of people don't see that though. A lot of people just see the Pogba that is portrayed by the media and by certain Sky pundits who I'm not going to talk about because he drives me absolutely mad. People only see the flop that Pogba has been, and they don't see his real influence. I mean, he's a great. There's no doubt about it. He's a world-class player, absolutely no doubt. You don't get to win the World Cup without being good at football. You know.
And so, what if he has attitude? You know, his attitude makes him.
I mean,
every good player has flair and has.
I don't even think he has attitude. Being completely honest, I think it's Raiola.
Yeah, but he's the problem. We all know he's the problem.
Pogba seems so happy since Oli came in. Obviously, he was miserable under Jose because Jose was, Jose was not a nice manager, and clearly his man management wasn't great, and he didn't get on with Pogba, and he made it very obvious he didn't get on with Pogba. So why would Pogba be happy about being at a club where he didn't get on with the manager? You know, but ever since Oli came in, we've seen how happy he is. You know. And he's performing differently as well, which is great.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. On the Pogba situation, I would welcome a new contract. Do I think he will or not? I'm not sure yet, but I think it just depends on how the team performs from now until, the middle of the season, end of the season, depending on whether he signs a new contract or not. But there's no doubt about it. He's a world-class player, and if you want to take him, Jen, we would be very gutted, but yeah.
I don't think he'd come to us somehow.
You said it.
I'm just being realist.
Exactly. Did you say you had 3 or?
That was it. It was Wan-Bissaka for right back, and it then be between Bruno and Pogba, and I rate all of those 3 players. I have even last season when people were given out, and so there you go.
Awesome. Ames, who would you take from Arsenal?
Okay, I found this question very hard because I was like thinking.
I'm sorry, I tried.
The actual squad that would make us better or have an influence in our squad. And being completely honest, no. But I would maybe take Smith Rowe as a backup for Bruno. Saka would be good in our squad depth, but we have enough there at the minute.
The only thing I would say about Saka, in the reason why I would probably take him in our team, is because he's very versatile. Yeah. So there are different positions that Saka can play. So I would personally take Saka. But yeah, sorry, Jen. I think that's.
Okay. Can I just say I can see comments here, and I agree with Keane. I think party.
Oh hell yeah!
Instead of that's where Fred plays. And
Party
is for me. Party is a better player than Fred.
Well, did Party score at the weekend?
He was injured.
No,
he was injured. He weren't playing.
I am on this Pastor Fred train now. I am on it. I've got an agenda. And obviously Smith Rowe as well. Smith Rowe
is a talent. He really is a talent.
Still very young, but he's a talent. But like you said before, we're quite stacked in the frontal department, so there wouldn't be I wouldn't even take a Aubameyang especially on last season's shit show. I know we said that we don't really need a striker, but obviously when Haaland becomes available, we will gladly, hopefully, go in for him. But I don't think we need reinforcements in the front, which I think where your best players kind of are. And obviously, you've got Smith Rowe as well, but we've got Bruno for that, and we don't really want to shift Bruno off. But if he's going your way, and that would be awful. But yeah, I would take Smith Rowe and Saka for, you know, a little bit of bolstering up there, and Saka just because he's cute. He's
really cute. He is a cutie.
He is, definitely. I'll just go through some of the comments before we wrap it up. I thought Amy was going to say the kit man.
She probably wouldn't even take him.
Bloody Chelsea injuring our party train. Oh, did he get injured at Chelsea Day?
Yeah.
See? Fucking horrible. I hate Chelsea. Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, like one's only rooting for you at the weekend. You need to take at least a point off Chelsea.
Yeah, that'd be great to do that. Be fabulous.
I would take one of the Glazers because they're putting more money into your club than our owners are putting into ours.
Oh, you can have
them. I think the protest and stuff had a bigger effect on our club than it did on yours.
And we had a bigger protest. We just didn't get into the ground.
Yeah.
Elite. That's what we are. No, I am not condoning that.
No.
Like, that was a joke. It's seen as everyone decides to take things very, very literally. That was a joke. Just to put that out there. I'd take Parsley. Please take Phil Jones, please. Would you take Phil Jones, Jen?
No, thank you. No.
I'll tell you what, he's
we'll pay you.
he can develop in any position, and he's experienced taking corners.
We've got nobody that can get on the end of a corner because Rob Holding's not even played.
Oh, bloody hell, I forgot about him.
Oh, how could you forget about Baldy Rob?
Oh, bless him. Are you happy your husband is the Swedish captain now? I am. Very, very happy. Very happy. I don't think Andy's very happy about the whole Victor Lindelof situation, but he lives with it. It's fine. He understands where he stands. We can never go to Sweden, though. We're not allowed. Well done, ladies. Have a great night. Yes, on that note, I am going to call it there. We've had a great chat tonight about both of our respective clubs. Probably join us again next week. Probably around the same time. We're going to try and keep it, you know, around the same time with the same people as well. But yeah, thanks for everyone for getting in the comments as well. It's been a good show tonight. I've really enjoyed it, getting back to hosting, and, you know, Premier League's back, fans are back. It's coming home.
I can't wait to go to a match. I cannot wait.
Are you planning on getting over sometime soon?
Yeah, we were looking at Chelsea next week, but it's just too soon for me. And the flights are ridiculous prices at the moment. You must know that, Amy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we could get tickets with just the flights were just phenomenal. So
yeah, no, I think soon you'll have to get over, and hopefully, Ames, you're coming back over as well soon as well, aren't you?
Hopefully October, yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully.
Awesome. Right, I will call it there. Ames, do you want to shout out your Twitter and anything else you're doing?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter on itsy18, and all my socials are linked on that, so you can go on my profile and take a look.
Cool. Jen, do you want to shout out your Twitter?
Yeah, if I can remember it, it's at Gooner Jen _Jen. Sorry. I'm so bad.
No problem. Go and follow the girls, and also you can follow me at Rach MUFC7. All the positive shite, you know. If you're negative, I can't be arsed. I'm not going to engage. I've had enough of idiots today calling women all sorts of names. So only if you're nice, because I can't be arsed. So yeah, follow us all on Twitter. Come back as well. I think tomorrow Kino is doing a United review, talking about the upcoming game on Sunday with Southampton, and also just a quick review of the Leeds game as well, and anything else that crops up in the meantime. So be sure to tune into that at 8:00, and we will see you soon. Bye.